The mystery began when the University of Athens discovered their 10th-century-old manuscript had been stolen. Then it turns up across the Atlantic right here in D.C.
The manuscript is right here in the front.
And the big question remains, how did this 1,000-year-old document become a display at the Museum of the Bible? Problem solved. We know where it's at. How did it leave the University of Athens?
Well, this is the mystery.
So it continues.
Yeah, it continues.
The manuscript dates back to the 1100s when a monk copied the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Odds are the book was used at a Greek Orthodox church or monastery. Fast forward some 800 years when it was donated to the University of Athens and then went missing sometime in 1991.
They had put this manuscript on display beginning in 1987 at a sort of an anniversary of the founding of the university, and they loaned it to the University Museum from the University Library, along with 3 other manuscripts. 4 years later, they got a note from the museum registrars that, well, we have 3 of your manuscripts and we're just letting you know. They didn't say anything about the 4th manuscript not being there.
From that point, the relic was basically MIA.
The word is stolen, right? It was taken without permission. Somebody stole it. It's pretty easy to slip something like this into a briefcase or a bag. There's no, detector tracking system on it, so it's unfortunately easy to remove.
Documents reveal it first resurfaced at an auction in 1998. Then it passed through a handful of private collectors before being donated to the Museum of the Bible in 2014. No one knew the truth because of tampering and a missing page.
That page may have had some identifying marks, so it looks like someone intentionally tried to hide the identity of the manuscript.
Meanwhile, the University of Athens did some digging and discovered its missing property could be in America.
One of our scholars associated with us, Dr. Tommy Wasserman, had posted information about the manuscript on a New Testament database, and that's where the university found the information and thought, well, this looks kind of similar to ours, and let's talk about this.
That talk led to a breakthrough. And now the newly found document has been returned home.
These are the inheritance of all of humanity, right? The history of the Bible and how it's been preserved.
And for being more than 1,000 years old, it's in pretty good shape.
Yes, it's parchment, which as long as it's properly cared for, will be preserved for a very long time.
Now the manuscript was packed up and shipped back to Greece on October 1st. And as you can imagine, the university was tracking it closely as it made its way home. Before it returned to the rightful owner, the rare manuscript was on display at the Museum of the Bible, where thousands got to learn the story and see this piece of biblical history firsthand. As for who took it, well, that part remains a mystery, one that scholars hope to solve soon. Ben Kennedy, CBN News, Washington.